Well, it comes down to this. We are presented with a story of our past by academic historians and the mainstream media. And I would say, I believe that story of our past that we're taught in our schools and through the medias and in our universities, that story of our past is part of the mind control that operates in our society today. In order to control billions of people around the world, you also need to be able to control their past. True knowledge of the past can be incredibly liberating. And if you don't want a liberated population, then you want to force-feed them a particular edited version of the past. And I believe that it's that particular edited version of the past that we are being given through the mainstream in modern society today. And I've made it my business for many years to provide a reasoned, well-supported, logical and thorough alternative voice to that point of view. To say that, yes, the picture of history may be as the academic historians tell us it is, but it may not be that way at all. It could also be very, very, very different. Here are a set of facts that the academics have interpreted one way. Here's another way to interpret those facts, which completely changes our view of history. And, you know, as you go further and further back into the past, as you get back particularly beyond 5,000 years ago, you find yourself in a period of darkness where there are no documents, no records, nothing, just flimsy, fragmentary evidence that archaeologists can dig up when they typically excavate 1 or 2% of a large site. And from this flimsy evidence, they then put together their interpretation of what the past is. And to my mind, that interpretation is not a whole lot better than a fairy story. So when we have a fairy story being presented to us as fact, I think it's important to say, well, hang on, these facts may not be quite the way they're being told to us. And so that's what I've tried to do. And the bottom line is, I think there's been a huge forgotten episode in human history. I think all the myths and traditions of a great lost civilization destroyed in a huge global cataclysm, leaving only a very few survivors. I think that tradition is absolutely true. I think it's the only memory we have as a species of a time before we lost our memory, a time when something so horrendous happened to the earth and happened to humanity that our memory banks were virtually completely wiped, leaving us only with the myths and traditions. So I've tried to show that actually you can go beyond the myths and traditions, and that you can present really quite solid and disturbing evidence which suggests that we have to reconsider the picture of our past. And I'd go further than that and say, as individuals, as free individuals, as adults, we owe it to ourselves to take possession of our past. It belongs to us. It does not belong to the specialists and to the experts. Indeed, the whole of the Ice Age, which lasted from about 125,000 years ago down to about 12,000 years ago, is a very, very mysterious period, which is not fully explained. The only thing that's certain is that gigantic cataclysmic events took place all over the Earth during this period. We're looking at a long period of sustained cataclysm, with episodes of really, truly gigantic cataclysms taking place. And those episodes were when thousands of years of meltwater that had accumulated on top of the ice caps burst out of their ice dams and poured down the ice sheet, reaching fantastic speeds. Sometimes you would have waves that had been estimated to be as much as 600 feet high, pouring down off the ice sheet. And that's indeed what happened at the end of the last ice age. The face of the Earth changed. Those ice sheets came off the continents. Sea levels rose dramatically. Millions of square miles of land, it's been estimated to be the equivalent of the whole of Europe and the whole of China added together in terms of land area, were swallowed by the sea and now lie as much as 400 feet beneath sea level. And to my mind, this extraordinary period of dreadful climatic instability, culminating in a series of really gigantic cataclysms, it's very, very tempting to link that together with the traditions of myth, of floods that come down to us with stories of a golden age, of a time when the gods walked the earth, and how a great cataclysm came and destroyed it all, leaving only a few survivors and a few memories of what went before. Plato put it better than anybody in the story of Atlantis when he talked about the dreadful floods and earthquakes that submerged Atlantis in a single terrible day and a night. And he said that after that, we had to begin again like children, with no memory of what went before.